Welcome to the Get Fit Guys quick and dirty tips to get moving and shape up. My name is Brock Armstrong, and I'm the Get Fit Guy. Flappy arms, or what some more rude people would refer to as bat wings, are actually a very common problem area for many people. But just because it's common doesn't mean that we have to live with it. If this area is an area that bothers you, well, I'm going to hit on some tips that'll help you tighten and tone those triceps. Now, okay, if you can, go and stand in front of your bathroom mirror right now. Now raise your arms up like a cartoon cactus and then wave to yourself in the mirror. Make a note of how much jiggling the skin on the back or the bottom of your arm is doing while you do that. Now, flex the muscles in your arms and then try that same cartoon cactus waving movement again. Now this time, take note of the skin that does not jiggle, because the lack of jiggle is actually due to muscle tone. The stuff that still jiggles, well, that's fat and loose skin. Now, there is no pass or fail on this test, nor is there any judgment being made. This is simply a test to see if you have a tone issue, a body fat issue, both, or neither. Now, let me pause for a moment because I do not want you to get the wrong idea. I am not trying to sell you on the idea that you should be ashamed of that jiggle or that it is some sort of shortcoming on your part. It is not, and you should not be. We all have skin and fat and muscle, and it all jiggles in different and glorious ways. But you know what? Some of you have written to me and told me that you don't like the way this particular jiggle looks or feels, and that you would like to do something about it. And as always, from my point of view, if I can encourage a few more people to move their bodies in new and interesting ways by giving them a workout that can also address a specific area of concern, well, who am I to say no? Having a healthy, well-balanced diet and a consistent exercise plan is definitely the best way to reduce overall body fat and therefore limit the fat and the loose skin that causes the majority of that arm jiggle. But let's talk about the other part of the equation, toning the muscle. Firming or toning a muscle is very simply a combination of both increasing the muscle tissue as well as lowering the body fat so that you can see the definition and shape of the muscles. A common assumption is that when you work out, your muscles go from soft to hard, and when you stop working out, they go from hard to soft. And while that is partially true, in reality, the majority of softness is body fat and the hardness is muscle. So what we want to do is increase the size of the muscle and decrease the amount of fat. Now, to do that, we need to engage in some strength training, as well as decreasing that layer of fat that's hiding those rippling muscles. Now, the cool thing is that the more muscle tissue you add to your body by doing that strength training, the greater the basal metabolic rate, or your resting metabolism, will be. That means you'll be burning more total calories and fat even while you're at rest. So, win-win. If you work out using large body movements and also keep your rest periods short, you will be able to elevate your heart rate and keep it there. That means you will be getting the same calorie and fat burning benefits of a traditional cardio session while you are strengthening. Win-win again. You can get the resistance training benefits as well as the cardio benefits in one awesome workout. How short should these short rest periods be? Well, around 30 seconds should allow you to keep your heart rate boosted while still allowing your muscles to get a bit of rest before their next set. You can use a stopwatch on your phone or on your watch or the clock on the wall at first, but after you do this a few times, you'll be able to feel when your heart rate is dropping too much. To maximize your gains, you can also concentrate on lifting to failure, which means that you can barely squeeze out that last 1 or 2 reps. And don't worry too much if the number of reps that you can do with each set drops. With your rest periods being short, the metabolic byproducts that are generated by all this lifting, well, they won't have a chance to be completely removed or flushed from your body before the next set, so your effort will definitely get harder and harder. And this is a good thing, and your body will adapt to it over time. But if you drop below 8 to 10 reps, well, you should probably decrease the weight that you're lifting so you can finish the set properly. Now, another way to keep your heart rate up while you're lifting is to do something called circuit training. Circuit training is a term for going directly from one set of an exercise to another set of an exercise that usually engages a different muscle group, and you go back and forth until you've completed the prescribed amount of sets. And this is a great way to maximize your workout time while also ensuring that your heart rate stays good and elevated. This is one of my favorite ways to work out, because if you're doing a circuit training session, you can complete a full body workout in 30 minutes or less. And in that 30 minutes, you get the benefits of muscle building and toning, along with an intense cardio workout. The exercise options that you place in your circuit are pretty much endless, and you can switch up the exercises as frequently as you like and keep your interest high and keep your muscles and, of course, your mind working hard. All right, now let's talk about the muscles that we want to target. The triceps are the back portion of the upper arm between your elbow and your shoulder that are used for extensions of the elbow. On the anatomy poster that I keep in my office, the technical term for these muscles is triceps brachii, which is Latin for three-headed muscle. Now, the reason that they're called that is because the triceps are composed of three different muscle bundles on the outside, inside, and middle of the back of your arm. Because the triceps are made of three different muscles, you won't be able to target them fully by simply doing one or two exercises. I find that you need to come at them from as many angles as possible using a variety of exercises and moves and different grips and hand positions to truly make them strong and t-shirt bulging. Two of the best exercises for this part of the body are the lying tricep press and the close grip bench press. But those both can be intimidating ones to start with, and both of those exercises usually require a trip to the gym. So let's start with a few that you can do at home. And the first one is narrow grip push-ups. Now this is actually a home-friendly version of the close grip bench press that I mentioned earlier. But instead of lifting dumbbells or a barbell, you're lifting your own body weight. Now to do this, simply do a regular push-up or a wall or a stair push-up and keep your hands closer together than usual. You can actually form a triangle with your hands if you like, and make sure your elbows brush your rib cage as you go down and back up. Now the next exercise is dips. And this one works many of the same muscles as that lying tricep press, but once again, you're using your own body weight instead of steel and lead. To do this exercise, begin by sitting on a chair and placing both of your hands on either side of your butt. Now, scoot your body forward so you are able to lower your backside down to the floor using just your arms. Then, push yourself back up. You can make this more or less challenging by bending or straightening your legs and moving your feet closer or farther away from you. To make it really challenging, you can actually try resting your feet on a stability or a yoga ball that's way out in front of you. And the next exercise is tricep pushdowns. And this one you can do at home with a resistance band, a door, and a little bit of ingenuity. Or you can always go to the gym. But what you do is you throw your resistance band up and over the open door. Then hold on to each end of it. You start with your arms bent at a little more than 90 degrees and then extend them, pulling against the band until they're completely straight. By using different grips, like a front grip, a reverse grip, or a rope grip, you can use this one exercise to work all three of the heads of your triceps. All right, the next exercise is called close grip bench press, and this one you'll either need to go to a gym or invest in a set of dumbbells and some sort of bench to lay on. Now, I'm sure you know what a regular bench press exercise is. Basically, you lay on your back on the bench and then push a weight away from your body. Well, a close grip bench press is the same exercise, but of course you keep your hands closer together and you keep your elbows in close to your body. And the next exercise is called skull crusher. And this exercise only lives up to its name if you happen to drop the weight on your head. So try to avoid that. Now, to do this, you simply lie on your back on a bench and hold a barbell or dumbbell with your arms bent at 90 degrees and your elbows on either side of your head. Then extend your arms until they are completely straight, then bring them back down to 90 degrees. By adjusting your hand position to knuckles up or knuckles down or knuckles sideways, you can again target the different heads of your triceps muscle. Now, I would suggest doing this one exercise with slightly lighter weights and increase the reps to the 10 or 15 range. Lifting too heavy a weight can actually cause some pain in your elbow. And don't worry, as long as you're still failing by rep 13, 14, or 15, you will get the benefits. And the final exercise is called dumbbell kickbacks. And you will definitely need some dumbbells or something heavy that you can hold in your hand for this triceps exercise. Now hold a dumbbell in each hand with your palms facing inwards. Keep your back straight and bend forward at the waist so your torso is almost parallel to the floor. Hold the dumbbells with your arms at a 90-degree angle between your forearm and your upper arm. Then, keeping your upper arms still, use your triceps to kick the weights back until your arms are fully extended. Focus on moving just the forearm. Then, bring your arms back to the starting position and repeat. Okay, I promised you a killer circuit workout, and here we go. Now make sure you warm up well before you start this workout. And until you have done it a couple of times and taken the time to write down the weights that you used for each exercise for future reference, be conservative. I don't want you to have to call a loved one into the bathroom to help you wash your hair for 48 hours after you do this workout. Now, since our goal is to actually make your arms look great all around, I snuck in some bicep work in here along with the tricep work too. Now, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do 10 to 12 reps of each of the two exercises 3 times back to back, and then move on to the next set of 2 exercises. Now, this type of circuit training is often referred to as a superset. And set 1 is tricep pushdowns to bicep curls. Now here's a pro tip. Each time you do this exercise, use a different handle or grip for the pushdowns to make sure you're working all the heads of your triceps. Now set number 2 is close grip bench press to narrow grip push-ups. Now, the pro tip on this one is do the close grip bench press with a set of dumbbells and hold the dumbbells with different grips and positions again to target different parts of your tricep muscles. And set number 3 is dips to pull-ups. And the pro tip for this one is that you can do assisted versions of both of these exercises if you need to before you move on to using your entire body weight. And set number 4 is skull crusher to kickbacks. And the pro tip for this one is to aim for 15 reps of the skull crushers, but keep the kickbacks to 10 to 12 reps. And here's the final pro tip. All of these are written down in the show notes over at getfitguy.quickanddirtytips.com and look for episode 397. You don't have to remember all of this. It's all written down at quickanddirtytips.com. Having strong arms is important to support almost every upper body movement that you do each day, and your triceps are quite often the ones that are doing the heavy lifting. Everyday movements like pushing a door open, pushing a shopping cart or a stroller, using a lawnmower, throwing a baseball, shooting a basketball, using a hammer, or lifting a heavy box over your head onto a high shelf, well, they all rely on having strong triceps. Being strong is important, and an added bonus of having strong arms is that they also look more firm, toned, awesome, and yes, if that's what you're looking for, less jiggly. Now, for more arm info, jiggle tips, and to join in the toning conversation, you can always go to facebook.com/getfitguy and twitter.com/getfitguy. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, getfitguy.quickanddirtytips.com. Now, before I go, I want to thank Fitting It Up, Wesley Wise, and Kate Katich, who went over to Apple Podcasts and left me awesome 5-star reviews on this podcast. I really appreciate it, you guys. That is great feedback, and it really makes me feel warm inside. Now, my name is Brock Armstrong, and I'm the Get Fit Guy, asking you, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.